This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it's visible. You can continue, please.
Okay, so I hope we all have participated in the light of event just happened.
Not yet.
And this batch is for the non-programmers. So we are going from scratch. We are learning very basic things. In the last class, we started this Python learning. That was the first class where we learned what are the variables and what are the lists. So the study routine will be like we will be learning some Python first. We'll start creating some programs, and then once we are just familiar with the programming, we can create some basic programs ourselves. Then we will start learning the main study content of the Python. Okay, so this is just the starting to make some small programs. All right, so yesterday class couldn't be happened because of some time confusion, and Mahesh Kumawat is the organizer of this whole event. So this session is recorded. Let's start. So today agenda is we would be covering from the Python installation. All right. So the official website of Python application is python.org, and we can find the Python software from here. We can see the latest documentation, whatever changes happening in the Python, those you can see here in the website listed here. Let me bring highlighter here. This is the documentation. And if suppose on any machine, if you want to see whether Python is installed, not installed, so this is the command we can see over here. Python hyphen space hyphen version on the command prompt. Okay, so this is simple. Now, there would be some confusion like where to download the software, what all websites are there, what are their benefits, what is IDE, what is the code editor, what are the Jupyter notebook. We can learn somewhere maybe like Jupyter notebook they use for the Python. So Python official website we have seen python.org where we can see the Python software and the documentation. But truly speaking, we usually don't go there. We don't refer that website because it is highly complex, highly sophisticated, and we use generally the third-party links to download the Python software. Now there are many websites, but let's take one as an example. Anaconda. This is a kind of some software company. So what we do, we download the software from Anaconda website. Now, once we download the Anaconda website, then we can see there are Jupyter Notebook. After installation, we get that. This is also a one way to learn the Python. Okay, for the beginners, we can get the IDE, Integrated Development Environment. This gives us, IDE gives us the GUI mode. When you write the program, either you write in the text editor like Sublime or like command prompt. So we can use the text editor. There it is, we find bit uncomfortable if you are not a programmer background because you have to everything write. Much help is not there. It's not GUI. Okay. So In IDE, if you use the IDE, this to create some program, then it is for the programmer, it becomes some easier to, to create the program because we can see various options while we see everything is GUI. You write the code, you get all the available options of the command, and like that, we can troubleshoot easily. On the screen, we can see all the options. So that is why IDE usually people prefer. And Spider is the name of IDE. So Anaconda is a website where we can download the software of Python. We can install it. After installation, we see Python Jupyter Notebook. That is also one way, but it's not necessary. No need. We can use IDE, Integrated Development Environment. It is user friendly. It is usually not free uh, because there are community version which are free, which we can use. Okay, so what is the difference if I install Python software from here or from the python.org? So there is one difference. If I download the software from python.org, then it include the standard library. Okay, only standard library. But if I install the Python software, download the Python software from third-party company like Anaconda, so they also include many other libraries which are freely available, which are very useful. So that's the benefit. So that's why we usually use the third-party software websites so that we can get many other things. Okay, let's move on. Now Anaconda, you can see this website where we can find this software, anaconda.com/distribution. When you open this, you have to click the windows. You have to select the windows. It comes at the top of the screen. Make sure you don't forget. Then you also get the download for Windows. If it is a 64-bit machine, you download it for the 64-bit machine. And then you can just simply right click and install it, run as admin. It is pretty simple to install the Python software. Only one thing you have to take care that while we install, at some point there is an advanced option and we should check mark the path option. Okay, by default it is not ticked, so you make sure it is checked. So the main thing of this selecting this option is that the Python, all the environment variables are included automatically. Okay, home path, you don't need to tell the script this is my path where Python is installed. So that is not needed. You just simply have to select this option so that you don't mention the path in the scripts. All right, so now after installation, you would go to Anaconda Navigator in the start. When you go to start, you find some Anaconda. There you can see an Anaconda Navigator. You would see the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, that you can refer if you want to learn, but I would Spider is the IDE. Maybe you can use that to program, or maybe you can use some text editor, code editor. So that is Sublime Text. Okay, so if suppose you have some size issue like disk is very less in your machine or CPU memory is very less, then you can download a small version of the Python. That is a small version because we have many external libraries which you would be missing, but you can create your programs, you can do your stuff. Okay, so now we can see we can download it from HTTPS, and this is the link. Okay, conda.io/miniconda.html. All right, so Now we can use the text editor, means you have to write the code and everything is like black screen. Okay, so you can go to this is a free version actually, so this you can use for maybe for all the programs. If you in the future, if you want to write some other language program, then you can use this for that purpose also. So you go to this website and download it. It's pretty simple, no need to explain anything here. So the important thing is that how you will run the program. Okay, so let's move next. So when you open the the Sublime Text editor, suppose you write anything, print command, print hello. So you have to save that first. Okay, once you save your program, then you would see that Sublime Text editor would come to know that, okay, this is a Python program, because it can be used for many programming languages. So once you save the program, you have to mention the extension of the program. Here it is .py. Suppose you want to write your program like test, then you have to write a test.py. Okay, so you save it like this. Once you save it, Sublime will come to know, okay, this is a Python program. Now I have to like highlight the commands or give options if it can give. Okay, then it would sense, it would do the the way it should do for the Python program especially. And it would, if you write some commands or means Python commands, so it would make some other color coding also accordingly. You can save the script. Okay, there would be in the menu you can find simple options to save. Now how you can run those program. Okay, suppose you write print hi in the Sublime Text. Okay, now how will you run that program? So simply I cannot show you here in this laptop, but you can try. It shouldn't be that difficult. So once you save your program, then you can go to the command prompt. Okay, there you can write the Python, simple Python here in the next command. Okay, type only Python. This is actually for the if you want to suppose run the Python program in Sublime Text. So you cannot run the script there. First thing, you can just write your program in the Sublime Text and save it. That's it. Now, if you have to write the program, then you have to come to your command prompt. I hope my command prompt is visible to all. Okay, I guess yes. So I have to write Python now, because while I did the Python installation, I had mentioned that check mark. So I don't need to tell where the Python is installed. Okay. Now suppose you have installed that Python, that Sublime file at some location. Okay. Test.py. So this is how you have to run your program. Enter. Okay. In this, my laptop, Python is not installed. So I would use the online web to make the programs. Okay, this is how you need to run the program, just to explain you. Now suppose in the Sublime you want to check how can I, if you want to run some command, if it is my working, not working, that command, then you simply type the Python, hit enter, and then you can write your program. So that we call interactive session. Okay, so when you hit enter on the Sublime Text, Python enter, then you come across with the interactive session. So here what we can do, we can write our command, Python commands, we can check, then you can hit enter. Write the command, hit enter, it will show you the output. But these are not the scripts, these are just the commands. Okay, so commands we can check on the interactive session this way. All right, a lot of theoretical talking this today. One more thing I wanted you to be aware that what is the indentation. Okay, so in Python, we to define the block, we can say, okay, so we will come to know the language better, like there are loops, there are functions, there are control logics, so we will come across those. So how we define the blocks for that? Okay, so we use the indentation to define what is the block. Suppose I want to use the if condition, if to check some condition. Okay, we didn't learn, but we will learn today. Okay, we didn't define any curly braces or round bracket, but in other program, usually we do define such things, but not here. Okay, so here we just give the blank space. See, here is the blank space. That is indentation, this blank space. Okay, if you use any editor, code editor or any software and hit enter after this, then it will automatically take care of your next commands. Okay, that it would automatically adjust the indentation. Indentation means white space simply. It must be according to the indentation, otherwise your program won't run. If you write this program, that will work because there is an indentation after if you have added this blank space, right? Now let's see next. If you write this program, this will give you an error. Why? There is no indentation. After if, there should be indentation, blank space, right? So this will give you an error. So 3 quotes we can use for docstring that we can learn later maybe, but simply this is kind of comments. If you want to add many lines for comment purpose, just to define something you want to write, you want to explain something, then you can use 3 quotes. It may be double quote or single quote, but you have to use same thing. Like if you are using single quote here, then all here at the end it should be single quotes, three times. Okay. Okay, so let's this and comments. If I want to make any particular line comments, just add hash at the beginning of the line. Okay, so I wanted to make very simple program that would just also do some kind of exercise from the past class. Okay, let's make it a simple program. Last time we learned what are the variables and what are the lists. Okay, so just to refresh everyone, let's make very simple program. Okay, let's take one variable, my list. Okay, in this variable I want to put one list. Okay, when I want to create any list, I have to put it inside the square bracket. Okay, I want to add some elements here. Okay, now my requirement is I have to add all the elements of the list. Okay, so okay, just to tell everyone that this class is for the beginners. They might be not aware about the programming. Okay, if there are they do know programmings. Okay, so these might be some simple things in the beginning, but later on we will come to the Python thing. All right, so in the last class, we learned how we can access the element inside a list. Okay, so suppose I want to access 3. Okay, I want to access 3. Then what I know that to access an element, I have to use the variable name and the index number. Okay, index number. Whatever element I want to access, for that I have to use that index number. So I want to just play something. 5, this. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so can anyone tell me like 64? For 64, what would be the index number here? Can anyone quickly?
Three.
All right, so for 64 we would be using the 3 as an index number, because for first element index number always start from 0 by default. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 would be the index number. Now I want to see what is inside the variable. Okay, so I would use the print command. Okay, I would put this variable inside the print. Now let's see. 64, it shows me 64 element. Okay, now I want to make this comment, program to add the elements of list. Okay, so because we haven't learned anything, so we are not using any fancy thing here. Very simple stuff to add the elements. Okay, so I would do one simple thing. I would create one variable sum. Okay, just empty variable I created, sum. Now what I do, sum equal to sum plus. Now I want to add all these numbers. So how will I access those numbers? My list. Okay, I can do that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so what I have done here, I am accessing all the elements one by one at 0 position, 1 position, second, third, and fourth position. Okay, sum is my 0, so it doesn't impact. So now I can print. So the sum now what is it contains? It contains the addition of all these variables. Okay, that is very straightforward. So print, this is the way we can print any variable. I want to write sum. Okay, let's see if it prints 149. Okay, so this is the sum. Now suppose I want to write something, so I can write that way. Sum of list is undefined. Okay, so I can make that way. 149. Sum of list is 149. It shows. Now suppose I delete this. Okay, now I am using this. So do you think there should be some problem with this code now? Any idea? Okay, so there is one problem. So Python says you don't need to declare the variable, okay? But you cannot use the variable without kind of initializing it or defining it. Okay, you can directly assign the value. It's not that you must declare. You can directly assign the value. So here this is a variable, right? Sum. So in the interpreter Python, when study this line, it will calculate this first. Okay, when this calculation happened, then value assigned to the sum variable. That's another thing, that this also is the same variable. But we are using this variable sum here. So we are using some variable without any declaration, initialization, defining nothing. It will give an error. Let's see, error undefined, because I am using this sum variable and I didn't define it. Okay, so I can remove it also. Now I am just, this is a new variable, so I'm just assigning the sum to this variable. That is perfectly fine. Okay, because I am not using the variable, right? I'm not using any variable which is kind of not defined. So this should work, right? This is working. So that's the only purpose I wanted to explain here about that variable. All right, so this just a refreshing exercise. Let's we shall move on. So we have refreshed like what is variables, how we can, what are lists, how we can add the elements of the list. Okay, pretty simple. Now today's new topic is Python operators. This is a new topic. Earlier we have seen some theoretical, how we can install the Python. If we have some space limitation, we can use the Anaconda installation. We know the indentation. Indentation is something where we call the indentation as a blank space to define the block of any control statement, looping, or any function. We use the indentation. Indentation also makes my program cleaner. In other programming languages, indentation we use just for the visibility, so that programmer can understand by looking at the program that, okay, this is the structure. It becomes simple, easier to understand. But in Python, indentation is a part of syntax you have to use, otherwise it gives error. Okay, so less coding, less number of characters, okay, in Python program. Okay, so Python operators. So operators, what are the operators? So we use variables, we know, we assign values to them. So now what we need, we have to use many operations on the variables. Okay, it means on the values. I may have to add the variables, may have to divide, I may have to check whether which variable is greater, which is smaller. I may use the assign, I may assign some value to that, then addition and assign plus, combine both. Okay, I can see, check the logic, if this is greater and that is less than that. So all these things, that everything comes under the Python operators. Okay, so Python divides the operator in the following groups. Arithmetic, it kind of, we will see like plus, minus, divide and all that. Okay, we will come across those. Assignment, how we assign. Comparison operators, how do we compare, how do we check the logic. Identity, how we can check the identity of two variables. Are those equal, or are those have the same memory location? Okay. Membership operator, are is a particular variable a member of another variable. Bitwise, this is something we usually don't use. This is comes like the bits operation we perform here in the digital electronics. We have seen probably 1, 0 and all that. Okay, what is on the next slide? Okay, so I just want to show you something here. I think there should be something, yeah, here. Okay, so in arithmetic operators, we find these operators, okay, plus, minus, multiply, divide, modulus, exponentiation, floor division. So by the name, we can see these all are very simple. It gives division, it gives the kind of remainder after division. It is kind of, suppose x mean x, y is the power of x, kind of, okay. And what is floor division? Floor division is like, it removes the any values after decimal. Okay, that we can see, but just to explain you, suppose the result of division is 2.5. Okay, so 2 is the floor value. So in our house there are two, one is floor, one is ceiling. So 2 is the floor, 3 is the ceiling, the maximum value, and 2.5 is in the mid somewhere. So what is the floor value? The lower value, it is 2. So floor division gives us the lower value. Okay, 2.5 won't be shown here. All right, so this is arithmetic operator. Assignment operator. Okay, x equal to 5, we do some assignation. X plus equal to 3, we define like that. It simply means x equal to x plus 3, both are same way. Okay, both are the same thing. X minus equal to 3 means x equal to x minus 3. Same stuff here. Similarly, we are doing the same operations. Okay, these assignment operators. So these are the comparison operators. Okay, this variable we usually use in the programming, very common, to check whether two variables x and y has the same value. If it is yes, then it results in true or false in Boolean. True false meaning Boolean. Okay, it gives us true if both are equal. If both are not equal, the operator of this name is not equal. Exclamation mark means not equal, not equal. This is greater than, if I want to see whether this is greater than that or kind of less than, greater than or equal, less than or equal. Okay, so these are the logical operators, and or not. Okay, like I added uh, two operations here with and. This is the logical operator. If this is true and this is true, both are true, then only result will be true. In the or, how it works, if this is true, any of one is true. True meaning correct. If x is less than 5, then the answer will be true. The answer always is either true or false in logical operations. Okay, not actually, if this complete gives me true, then not will make it false. If inside operation is false, then not outside will make it true. This is how it works. So this is bitwise operator. And okay, this is something digital electronics. One changes bits 1 to 0, 0 to 1. If there are two variables, okay, or means if any is 1, then answer will be 1 in a digital, in a bits. I'm not talking about in decimal or normal numeric values 4, 5, 6 in the binary format. Okay, if 1 is 1, I mean if there are two, either 1 and 0, okay, we are doing addition, it will be giving 1 or, okay, that way. XOR, if one value is 1, another is 0, then only it gives me 1. In OR, if there are two 1, it will give me 1. Okay, but here one must be 1 and another must be 0, another number, then it gives me 1 only. Not, it converts 1, it converts 1 to 0, 0 to 1. Okay, I don't want to go into much deep, not of much use. Means this is something to shift the values, binary values. Okay, 0 fill left shift, left shift. This is some number. Okay, we are shifting to the left side that way, and here we are shifting to the right. Okay, we are inserting some number and then shifting to the right. Okay, let's leave it. And these are the membership operators. Okay, it helps us in knowing, identifying whether X is present in Y. If yes, then answer is true. Does X not in Y? Is X not present in Y? If not present, then answer is true. This is what we were asking, right? Okay. Is. This is to check whether my two variables are locating to the same memory location. So we use is. That might be a bit confusing. Anyway, okay. So suppose this is my memory. Okay, so many location in memory. Quickly, we don't have much time. Okay, this is memory. Okay, so I have put here 10. Okay, I have one variable x. It's showing to this memory location. I have one y. It shows this memory location. Okay, so x is also showing 10, y is also showing 10. Okay, so x, this, it means 10, y means this. So r, the here what it means in our simple language, does the memory location of x and y same? If it is same, then answer is true. Okay, if suppose x was locating here something 20. Okay, not this, x locating some other memory location, y locating some other memory location. Now does memory location of x is same as y? No, it will give me false. Okay, false. So this is how it checks the memory location if the value has at the same memory location. So this is a chaining comparison operator. So we can combine many operations together. Okay. What is that? Okay. True, false. We have talked too much today. True, false. So what are the booleans? True, false are the booleans. Okay. Whenever we write any logic expression like 5 greater than 2, then it results me as either as true or false. Okay. Let's make some uh, checks. Let's test now. Okay. Now, if it's not clear to you, then we'll try that things get a bit easier. Okay, so x is suppose 10. Okay, y is 4. Now print 10 divided by 4. Let's see what it results. 2.5. Okay, pretty simple. So this is a division operator. Now if I write that way, this is my floor operator. If you would have remember, see this floor division operator. Okay, this what it gives me, the lower value is 2. Okay, it gives me 2. So this is how it works. Okay, so how the earth, I write simple the values, but I could write that way also. That's the use of variables. Okay, same thing. Okay, now the arithmetic operators, we saw x plus y equals me 14. Arithmetic operator, this is okay. And I won't want to show in the bitwise operator those, because those would take longer and are not much of use. Okay, so I want to write some string in the x variable. Okay, hello world, and in y, let's leave it. Okay, so h in x. Okay, and what is x? X is a variable, right? I know. What is in? In is my membership operator. Where was that? In. This is membership operator. It checks whether x present in y. Okay, whether this value is present in this value for that purpose. So I want to see whether h is present in x. It should give me the answer either true or false. But here I have done one mistake. We'll see. It is giving me error. H is not defined. I cannot use H in this way, because if you write this way, it thinks it as a variable. Okay, so this is a string. I have to write that. Does this string H is present in X? Now, does it make sense? Whether H present in this hello world? Let's see. True. Yep. So now I want to write h, small h. So this is a case sensitive. It should give error, I guess. Yeah, it gives error. So in is telling me whether this stuff, whatever I'm writing here, is present in this variable. Okay, now you can keep this h in a variable or y, right? That we also can do that way. And I can write y here. Now I can write this without quotes because this is a variable. Okay, variable contains h present in hello world. Okay, false. If I write here w, then it should work. So because w is present in this, okay, world, I can write the world. Yeah, true. Okay, so this is, we can check. Now if suppose I want to see y is giving me true, because y world is present in this string. That is correct. That's why it is true. Now I want to check opposite way, not in operator. Y not present in x. If this is true, y does not present in x, then it would give me true answer. Okay, so this is a bit tricky. So let's see what it should give. Anyone can tell what it should give?
False.
False. Okay, y is in world is in this true, so it is false. False. Okay, now I want to write some ABC. Now this is true because my question is correct. This is not present in this, so this is correct statement. It is true. I hope this is clear. Okay, now I want to tell one interesting thing. Another let me tell you which yeah, is not. I was telling you memory stuff, if it is say memory and all that. Okay, I make it 5 and I make it 5. Okay. X is Y. So does the memory location of X variable is same as the memory location of Y? What do you think? In the memory, in the heap
False.
memory,
False.
it, it is false. Anyone who wants to say true or false? Tell me only those who want to tell true. Okay, looks like everyone wants to say false, I assume. So this is wrong here. This is true. Let's see. True. Now, if I change it to 6, then let's see, it should be false. Okay. Now I again make it 5. This is true. This is very strange. Why? Okay, so Python, how it works, this is a very little number. So Python interpreter first create this object. Okay. We will know much deeper slowly, but for now, I would tell you, Python interpreter will create this object 5, and X is just the name which is pointing to the 5. 5 is an object, X is just the name, like my name is Shrutikant. Okay, but Shrutikant, so what is, I am an object. I have my hands, my legs, my face, everything. And my name just pointing to me. Okay, the same thing. X is not really something container which contains something. No, that is wrong, which I told in the last class. Okay, that was just for the easy understanding. So when interpreter create 5 in the memory location and X point to that memory location, when it comes to the next line, it checks 5. It is already there in the memory, right? I won't create it again. Why I waste my memory? So what it does, it makes one more name Y and it points to the same memory object, that is 5. It doesn't create any new for this. Okay, so that's the logic. Now I am checking whether X memory location is same as Y memory location. Yes, that is true. So now the interesting thing comes. Okay, I just copy paste these two. Same number. Okay, now let's see. This is false. See, I was telling something wrong to you, seems. Now the same value is there. Why? When this object was created, interpreter didn't point this Y to the same object. Why? The only reason is, okay, now interpreter sees X equal to this created this object, sorry, this object in the memory, right? This object, this number is created in the memory location, and X was a name which points to this memory location. Okay, now it comes to the second line. It see, oh, that is very big number, yaar. It would take me very long time to check. I don't want to compromise with my performance. Okay, this is a very huge number. Let's create another object. In the memory, it would create, it won't check actually. It won't check in the memory whether this is exist already. So it will create a new memory location for this because this is a very huge number. If it checks this in all the memory, then it would be kind of performance impact. Little bit. it would be performance given things. So this is a new object. Okay, this is the real answer. If it is a simple value, I remove it. Now this is a simple number, it would give me clue. It create for this is very simple number. Yeah, it is already existing. Make y pointing it to 583. I hope this is clear. This operator x is y, memory location. All right. So I want to tell you here one more thing. Suppose anyone has any doubt here on this. Okay. So now let's see one more example. This was the variable, but this what I explained just applicable for the strings and the numbers. Okay. If I talk about any other like lists, we will come to know more tuple, dictionaries, many more things will come. So if we talk those things there, it doesn't apply. How it works there, let's see. This is a list, okay? X is Y, false. So other than numbers and string, it would simply create the different objects. Okay, so the memory location of X and Y are different. Okay, but now the interesting thing comes. X, Y, are those same? I don't know how. Keep your ink and a cushion, discard. Okay. Okay. Now I wanted to tell about this. What it does, it checks whether the values of X and Y are same. Okay. It checking the values are same. Single equal, what it checks? It doesn't check. It just assign. Kept the 5 value to X variable. Okay, this is just the assignment. Here it is the checking. Okay. All right. So now for other data types, I don't know if data type make any sense. We'll check later. But these all are the data types. If these all stuff X, like we saw new strings, numbers, how it works, it doesn't create another object if it is a simple value. But for other data types, it created different objects. If we define this way, okay, now what? Now, if I define this way, okay, what it does, it created one object, okay, and X is pointing to this object. Object, don't go into confusion that object, what is the object, why we call it object, everything is object, okay. So why we looking X is pointing to this object now, X equal to Y. What X contains? X just point me this, right? So X knows the address of this, right? Of memory location where this is present. So now by this command, I am assigning to Y whatever is inside the X. Inside the X is the memory location of this list, right? So what Y contains? Y contains the memory location of the same list. So now Y point to the same object in the memory, right? So the memory location should be same. True. Y is pointing to this. Now, interesting thing. Okay. Suppose I am telling lie. You don't believe me. Okay. How this can contain pointing to the same? You don't believe me. Okay. Let's prove it. That's the question to me. Okay. X 0. What is X 0? You don't believe me, right? So what I do, I check using this print. Okay, I make it hash. So let's see, it should be 1, but let's see. Yeah, it is 1. So we are good. Now what I do, I assign it something else. I assign it 98. Okay. Now what is X? 0. It should be 98 only. Okay, I changed it, right? This is our understanding. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, let's see what is X. What is the complete list? Okay, yeah, that's correct. It is 98 and rest events or elements are same 2, 3, 4, just exchanged. Now the interesting part, print Y. What should be the Y? I was telling Y pointing to the same memory location where this object was placed, and I changed this element. So now Y should also show me that changed list, right? The same list. Y should show me that. If as a result of print Y, this list is coming, it means X and Y was pointing to the same list in the memory because I just changed the X. I didn't change the Y, right? I didn't change it. Y is automatically should change if it is pointing to the same memory location. Correct. Y also changed, right? I didn't change it because X and Y are pointing to the same memory location, right? So that was, I had many more things. Let me check to Mahesh sir. Mahesh sir, can we like continue or that's all for today? Because we had
Yes, we will.
1 hour.
We'll go ahead with the next weekend. I think it's done for 1 hour session. So, guys, we are just going to wrap up things, and next Saturday, Sunday, and we're going to provide 2 hours classes again. So, any questions you can just ask to me right away.